It is that time of year again. It's time for things to change. Amen? How many people have made a resolution or two? Anybody? Okay.
I mean, goals.
Yeah. Goals, resolutions, or
Well, kind of goals. Yeah, kind of.
I asked Alexa how many people in America make resolutions, and she said about 100 million people. So I'll take her at her word. 100 million people make resolutions every new year. Because, we want things to be different. We want things to change. We're not satisfied with less than. We want to have, get as close to perfect as we can, right? It's funny, 1,000 things can go our way, but that one thing that doesn't, what do we focus on? That one thing that doesn't. And so it may be that one thing we try to fix, but some of us make resolutions. I'm trying to get rid of this gut. So y'all pray for me, because I like to eat too, so those things not mutually compatible. But I think many people want things to change, whether they do resolutions or not. It seems that as we get older, the fewer resolutions we make. Younger people tend to make more resolutions, or the percentage is higher of the younger generation than the older generation. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that we've just tried so many times and failed. Kind of like Tom. Tom every year would make New Year's resolutions, and this one particular year, he made his long list of resolutions, and it had the usual suspects. I want to eat healthy. I want to exercise more. I want to practice more. I want to read more books, be more patient. The usual suspects, the things that we all would like to incorporate into our lives. And in this one particular year, he made these resolutions, and he'd stuck them to the fridge of the door of his fridge on New Year's Eve, and the day after New Year's Day, the 2nd, he goes in and he looks at this long list of New Year's resolutions, and trouble is, he had been sitting around all day, not being active, eating munchies all day long. And so he looks at his resolutions and realizing that he had just failed to meet every one of them. He takes the marker and crosses them all out. And so he has a big sigh, and he hangs his head in shame. And he has a little epiphany, and he gets a pen and writes one more down. It says, "Be more realistic." So he felt better about that. So he grabs a donut, and he got on with life. I think that realism kicks in sooner rather than later for most people who make resolutions. And we all know this, that change is hard. Change is difficult. But not belying that, there's something inherent in us that wants to change. We know that change is difficult, and yet somehow when we come around to New Year's or that time of year, spring cleaning or whatever, we want things to be different because we know that things should be different. And so we make a goal, we make a list, we make a resolution. And then I find myself going to the Apostle Paul in chapter 7 Romans. This is a little bit out of context, but I think you'll get this. He says, the things I want to do, I don't do. And the things I don't want to do, I end up doing. Oh, wretched man that I am. That's kind of how most people feel after they fail their resolutions. I think the problem is if we look at our lives as our lives, if we look at our days as our days, if we look at our strength as our strength, if we take possession of those things that are not ours to take possession of, we set up goals and resolutions to do things according to our will. And Jesus says, apart from me, you can do what? Nothing. So as we begin this year, I want to show you a clip, and then we're going to get into the book of Genesis. You might want to turn the volume up on this a little bit too.
5 books of Moses, and no more.
They're missing out on so much.
Yes. But we have to start somewhere. What do you think I should read? Maybe Moses striking the rock instead of speaking to it. Or Balaam hitting his donkey when he was mad.
Don't torment me.
How about when Moses broke the tablets? Jonathan storming away from the dinner table. Samson striking down the men of Ashkelon. Oh wait, they don't have those.
I get it. I get it.
I really am open to suggestions for the reading.
I couldn't. After today, after yesterday, I do not feel very much worthy.
Who's worthy of anything?
You? But no man, apparently.
I'm a man, John.
And yet,
I am who I am.
Have you made your selection, Rabbi? Rabbi?
almost. Sorry. Almost. They're getting restless out there.
So, do you have a favorite passage from the first 5?
Do you?
I don't know. I like them all.
You don't say. I suppose I love the beginning. I love how God simply spoke and the world came into being.
Yes. As David wrote, by the word of the Lord,
The heavens were made. You know, the Greeks use word to describe divine reason, what gives the world form and meaning.
I like that. And it is a favorite memory. A reading from the first scroll of Moses. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
In the beginning was the Word.
And the earth was void and without form.
And the Word was with God.
And the darkness covered the face of the deep.
And the Word was God.
Then God said, let there be light. And there was light.
He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him
Then God said,
was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. Let's read through those. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. I want to talk to you about new beginnings, because every new year we have a new beginning. And what I see in that first verse, in the beginning God created. God is the beginning creation of everything. God is the beginning creation of everything. As we start a new year, that needs to be first and foremost, not only in the book of Genesis, which the book of Genesis means beginnings. There is a philosophical underpinning that states anything that begins must have a beginner. Anything that comes into being must have been caused by something or someone that already is. And so this whole creation is existing because there is one who exists outside of time, space, and matter. This is his creation. And in the beginning, God created. In the beginning of every new year, in the beginning of every new relationship, in the beginning of every new opportunity, God. He must be and is the foundation of every new beginning. We step into anything new and we often forget that He is the one who caused it to be. Every breath that we have, every new breath you take, every new thought that you have is only because God has given you that breath, that ability to think. He is the original cause. He is the first cause. And I think our mistake as we enter into the new year, as we enter into anything new, is to have the assumption, the gall, if you will, to believe that somehow this is our moment. This is our time to change things. This is our year that things will get better for us. We start to lay claim and lay hold of something that we didn't cause to be and we can't sustain. We just simply get the privilege and the grace of existing in it. And so as we enter into this new year, let us keep that in mind. His mercies are new every morning. Every day we receive the mercy and the grace of God because He has allowed us to be. That produces gratitude. When I come to that understanding, I enter into His creation, His time, His purpose for me with gratitude. And if I'm grateful for what He has given me, I cannot be proud about it. If I understand that I have nothing, and apart from Him I can do nothing, it's all to Him, all to Jesus I surrender. All to Him I owe. If I understand that, I will not become prideful. I will be grateful for what I have been given. Every new mercy, every new start is because He has allowed us. Matthew 6:33, Jesus echoes this when He said, "But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness." But seek first, not just in time, not just in the beginning of creation, not just in the beginning of your day, but in priority, first and foremost. In the priority of your comings and goings, in every event, in every breath, in every thought. Paul says, pray without ceasing. Give gratitude to God. Give thanks to God. First and foremost. And seek His kingdom, because it is His creation. It is His kingdom. He owns it. He created it. He sustains it. And one day it will all come back to Him to give an account. Keep first things first. God is the beginning of every minute, of every moment in 2026. Secondly, I see that every new year is a blank canvas. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Jesus is the light of the world. Yet there was darkness on the face of the deep. The earth was formless and void. And God stepped into that darkness. We look at the blank canvas of 2026 and we think, what kind of picture can I paint? What colors of the palette do I have to cast upon this blank canvas and create something in my image for my liking and my likeness? I don't know what it's going to be. None of us know what 2026 will hold for us. We might say somewhere in the middle of the year, well, things are really shaping up, I start to see the form of 2026. Things are really shaping up to be a good year. Or this is really forming up well. But we can only see that after it happens. So what we try to do is we try to impose our will upon that blank canvas. We try to paint according to the colors of our liking. And yet, James tells us in James chapter 4, why do you say that I'm going to go to such and such a city for a year, buy and sell there, make a profit, when the fact is, you can't even take your next breath without God. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, I'll do this and that. Your life is but a vapor. And so we try to make our plans, our resolutions, according to what benefits us. And even if we do somehow make some progress according to our will in this year as we try to change things for our benefit, Solomon says, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. It's just chasing after the wind. Jesus says, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world? If we go into 2026 and we gain the whole world, we do everything that we want to do and it works out, what does it profit a man if he does that and he loses his soul? He loses his connection with the divine creator. He loses connection with the source of life itself. What does it profit a man if he gains all the world and yet loses that? It says, God created the heavens and the earth. But it says the earth was formless and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Now, it doesn't say the heavens were formless. It doesn't say the heavens were darkened. It says that darkness was on the face of the deep, yet we know God is light, and in Him there is no darkness at all. So what can we extract from that? Before we were created, Satan fell, and there was an abode of darkness. And if you look at darkness, that word means abyss. We know the ruler of the world, this world is Satan himself. He's the principality of the power of air. We know that darkness is absence of God because God is light. And so we know that there is a profound emptiness without God. There is no form or function or fashion, and yet with intentionality, God stepped in and said, let there be light. So we talk about that higher life. It says that the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the deep. What I see in that is God in his authority, ruled over the abyss. He ruled over the deep. He ruled over the outer darkness, if you will. He kept it captive. He has authority over that. And yet, when we fell as humanity, guess what we did? We entered into that very darkness. We entered into that very emptiness. We entered into that void, as it were, cut off from the life and the purpose and intention of God. So if we try to enter into 2026 to create our own purpose and meaning, we'll be at the very best chasing after the wind, Solomon says. But God didn't stop there. He said, let there be light. And there was light. And so, with no form, with no function, with no purpose, with no value existing, God spoke light into the darkness. John tells us, and you heard it just there, and the darkness did not comprehend it. The darkness did not understand it. There is no fellowship with darkness with light, right? When you turn on the lights in this room, darkness flees. So God spoke light into existence. He spoke, who is the light of the world? Jesus. In him was light, and that light was the life of men. God spoke and created light. What does light do? Light brings clarity and form to our days. Thy word is a light unto my path and a lamp unto my feet. It gives me revelation of what, in the uncertainty, in the darkness, in the blank canvas, I start to see the color and the revelatory image of God as he shines light on my path. So I might not have the right vision for 2026, but I can trust that the God who created 2026, if he tarries throughout 2026, he will have a purpose and a value that exists in our lives. He is shining in our lives. He is revealing to us his purpose and intention throughout. That light is the condition for life. It is the condition for life. Nothing grows without light. That life was revealed to us in Jesus Christ, and that light was the life of men. And so every new second, every moment, every blank canvas that is before us to be painted, it is Jesus who is the express image of the Godhead bodily. If we want to know what is to be revealed for us in 2026, it is Jesus. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Right? We are born from above. We are of his spirit. We are it is being revealed in us, his likeness. We are created in his image. And if I want to know what needs to be painted on that canvas, I need to look at Jesus. So if you were looking for a new resolution this year, look for not a resolution, but a revelation. Don't look for your image pasted upon 2026. Look for God revealing himself in your life in 2026, a revelation. Let him shine the light of his purpose, his plans, his image in the darkness of what tomorrow, the uncertainty of what tomorrow holds. God saw that the light was good. You see what we see here in this verse is there was darkness. The darkness he doesn't call good. But when he spoke light, he said, let there be light. He saw that the light was good. The implication is, or a contrast, the darkness is not good. The light is good. And we just got through Christmas, the celebration of Christmas, when we celebrated the light. When we celebrated what the prophet Isaiah said, the people who have dwelt in the land of darkness have seen a great light. Upon them a light has shined. Again, abiding in the fallen humanity abyss, in the darkness and the confusion of what the meaning of life is, what the purpose of life is, what the path of life is, God spoke and sent his only Son to show us what it means to be fully human. God calls us out of darkness. We are called the ecclesia, the church, the called out ones. Abram was called out of his culture, Ur of the Chaldeans, that was in darkness. And he said, Abram, come out and to a land that I will show you. I will lead you day by day, moment by moment. I will shine my light of revelation upon your path, and I will show you where I am taking you. First Peter 2:9 says, but you, that includes all of you and me, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. And so, if we choose to remain in darkness, we will live a year, if God so tarries, and we stay here, he lets us live, we will have another year of existing without true meaning. We'll have another year of existing without true purpose. We are chosen for a purpose, to proclaim that there is a God of light that shines into the darkness. And so when we see someone going through darkened times, we bring the light of Jesus to bear, to shine into their life, that they might not stay in darkness. We are children of light. But what does that mean? It means that I am called out of my own understanding, my own purposes, my own will, my own life. I have died and my life is hidden with Christ in God. I am a new creation in Christ Jesus. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. I was bought with a price. I am not my own. Right? I am purchased by the precious blood of Christ. I don't own myself. And he called me. That's how he saved me from darkness. That's how he purchased me with his blood, by dying on the cross for my sins, the sins that kept me in darkness. Out with the old and in with the new. And so as I look in the mirror, the outward man is still perishing, but the inner man is being renewed day by day. And so I think the reason so many of us have trouble changing is that we either don't think it's possible. By that, we're basically saying God is not able. Or we have no idea what we are to become. We haven't looked at Jesus. We haven't cast our gaze upon his holy face. Or maybe we try to do it in our own strength. I'm trying to become something that I cannot become apart from the one who is the becoming God, the one who causes me to become. He is the beginning. If he called me, if he began a good new work in me, he is faithful and will complete it. And lastly, this new day, this new year brings us a choice. God divided the light from the darkness. Former pastor of ours his dad used to say there are two types of people in the world, male and female. It was a joke. He had a very dry sense of humor, but it's true. We paint in shades of gray, but there is a very black and white nature to our faith in God. There is darkness and there is light, and the two cannot mix. God divided, and in that we see that we have a choice. We have a daily choice on which side of the ledger we're going to stand. We talked about that a little bit this morning, about we can have all the blessing of God and do nothing with it. We can choose to serve ourselves. We can choose to do our will instead of His will. It's a very real possibility. It's a very real choice. So in His sovereignty, He has given us the possibility of empowering us to walk through this year for His purpose and intention. He's also given us the choice to do our will and reject His. And so we stand firmly in the valley of decision. Every day, every moment, we stand firmly deciding one way or the other. Again, John 1:5, and the light shines in the darkness. And the one translation says the darkness did not comprehend it. And another translation says the darkness did not overcome it. I believe both are true. I think sometimes we stay in darkness because we don't understand what God is doing. We don't know what God has for us. We have to have all the plan revealed to us before we will step by faith into it. And God does not work like that. He says, trust me. And so we stay in darkness if we don't. We can step out day by day, and then in stepping, His word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. He shows me the next step. I might be afraid, like we talked about. I might have an uncertainty about tomorrow. I might not know where it's going, but I know who is before me, the one who has created tomorrow. I might not comprehend it, but I can trust Him. John 3:19 says, and this is the condemnation, that light has come into the world and men loved darkness rather than light. Why? Because their deeds are evil. And they wanted to stay in the darkness because they didn't want to give up the pleasure in sin for a season. They didn't want to give up the life that they thought was theirs. They wanted to hold on to it in ingratitude for the grace that God had already given them. Rain falls on the just and the unjust. We are all just beneficiaries, whether we walk with God or not. We are all just beneficiaries of God's goodness for a time and a season. Joshua says in Joshua 24:15, I believe it is, choose you this day whom you will serve. The Lord has laid before us good and evil. He has laid before us blessing and cursing. He has laid before us grace and mercy or judgment. Light or darkness. Choose wisely.